I totally have spring fever because I've done a lot of garden planning and all my seeds are in. So I want to talk with you about the 5 best garden veggies to grow for canning. Hi traditionalists, thanks for stopping by the homestead. My name is Sarah from Traditions Homestead, and probably over the last month I have had my nose in every single seed catalog that has come in the mail. I have made a trip up to Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, which is about 45 minutes away from our house. I placed a nice order for some other seeds that I needed, and I've gotten them in, and so now I am just so excited to start seeds, even though it's not time yet. But I've been thinking about, in my planning, what will be best for our family to grow for food preservation for the entire year. As you may know, I do a lot of canning for our family, and so I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about my 5 top garden veggies to grow for canning. Now, there are lots of things that you can grow and can, but there are 5 that really stick out on our homestead that are super important, and I wanted to talk with you about them, maybe to give you an idea so you can start planning what you're going to grow for your family this year. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is green beans. Now, lots of people like them fresh, and they're fantastic fresh. They're fantastic frozen, but I also recommend that you try canning them. Our family loves them. They're super quick and easy to take off the shelf and open up to have as a nice side for your family's dinner. Now, there are 3 types of green beans that we are going to be growing this year, and I just wanted to give you some ideas of some varieties that maybe you could try that have worked well for us. Now, last year we grew contender green beans and they turned out just fine. I still have some left in my seed packet from last year, so I'm going to try some of those again too. I also picked up a packet of Blue Lake bush beans. I like bush beans because then they don't climb and get all crazy all over the place. They're easier for me to pick and to see where the beans are at. So we're going to try some Blue Lake bush beans. But then a friend of mine also gave me a big bag of Provider green beans. So we're going to try all 3 of those this year just to give them all a chance and see how they go. So think about choosing one of these 3 varieties. They're both very popular. They are kind of tried and true varieties of green beans. So grow those this year and give canning green beans a try. The next garden veggie that I think you should grow and try canning are carrots. Now, carrots are fantastic fresh, just like green beans, and they're actually really good frozen too, and pickled and fermented and all that kind of thing. But also grow them and try canning them. Can them for just to eat with your dinner. Grow them and put them in like soups that you're gonna can, like chicken soup and beef kind of stew soup and that kind of thing. They're fabulous. I actually pickle them and do dilly carrots and spicy pepper carrots and all kinds of things that I can. I also will be fermenting more of them, but canning. And my tried and true favorite type of carrot to grow, I've grown it for probably 6 years, are the Scarlet Nantes. And I have some left over from last year. Most of my seeds now are from Baker Creek, but there's one more company that I'm going to talk with you about in a little bit that I just ordered from this year and I'm testing out. But as far as carrots goes, I'm going to be doing Scarlet Nantes like always. Last year Baker Creek was giving away some free carrot seeds, so I'm going to try them as well. They are Cosmic Purple. And then a friend of mine also gave me a big bag of carrot seeds. I'm going to try them. I've never tried these before. They are Red Cord Chantenay carrots. So maybe give one of those 3 a try, but definitely the Scarlet Nantes are always a great bet to try. Now, my 3rd recommended garden veggie to try for canning would be cucumbers. So cucumbers can obviously be made into pickles. We love to make a variety of different kind of pickles on the homestead and relishes. So, if you're going to be growing cucumbers anyway for fresh use or whatever, give them a try for canning as well. Now there's different things that you can try, different kinds of cucumbers you can try for canning, but if you're going to do pickles and the long pickle spears, you're either going to want a variety that stays pretty short, like 6 inches, or you can try the little bitty ones called gherkins. And this year we're going to try some little bitty gherkin type cucumbers for making pickles, and the variety we're going to be using is Little Tyke. It is a hybrid, it's not an heirloom, and it has some resistances to some of the things that we've had a hard time with on our homestead last year, as far as like cucumber beetles and a different kind of wilt and that kind of thing. So this has some good resistances to that, and so we're going to be trying a hybrid this year. We're also going to be doing an heirloom called Marketmore 76. Now Marketmore is super popular, especially around here, and you can use it for cucumber, or you can use it for pickles, but this is also good at the farmer's market. And then I'm going to try a small burpless hybrid called Tender Green Burpless. To be honest, this could be a hybrid or an heirloom, I'm not quite sure. But these are the 3 we're going to be growing this year. But experiment a little bit with cucumbers. There are a zillion different varieties. So just try one and try canning with them. Pickle some and make some relish. We love relish. Now, my next recommendation for garden veggies to use in your canning or to grow for canning, it may not be what you are expecting. But I highly recommend to grow peppers for canning. They're very versatile. You can grow them to put in your salsa, in your pasta sauce, but I use them a lot to spice up other things that I am canning. I talked about spicy pickles. I make spicy pickled cauliflower. I actually just pickle hot peppers. And I also pressure can little bitty jars, like the 4-ounce jars of like green chili peppers, so that I don't have to buy them from the store when I'm making spicy dishes or Mexican dishes. So why don't you give those a try? I am kind of a complete nut when it comes to pepper plants. Last year, I think I grew like 8 different varieties of peppers, and I'm gonna do the same thing this year because I like to make a lot of my own seasoning mixes and those kinds of things. That's a conversation for another day. But go ahead and give them a try. Not just the bell peppers, but try jalapeno peppers, serrano peppers, maybe some of the other really super spicy peppers. Those yellow peppers, pepperoncinis, those are fabulous for pickling. Just give them a try, and then keep an open mind about using them in your canning. The final garden veggie that I recommend highly for canning, you probably know what it is. I feel like I've saved the best for last and my favorite for last because I use them a ton. Tomatoes. You absolutely must try to grow tomatoes for canning next year. Now I recommend 2 different types of tomatoes for canning. Just like a slicing tomato that you can use for like diced tomatoes and those kinds of things, or like your stewed tomatoes and that kind of thing. And then also some type of paste tomato that you can use for pasta sauce, tomato sauce, any of your saucy types of things. Now I want to talk with you a little bit about our experience with tomatoes. We really wanted to plant heirloom tomatoes, which we did last year, and it was our first year planting a lot of heirloom tomatoes. And as a backup, because we were a little bit afraid to abandon hybrid tomatoes altogether because we had had a lot of success with hybrid tomatoes, we planted half of our tomato plants as hybrids and half of them as heirlooms. Now, just a little bit, a really generic kind of high-level explanation of the difference between an heirloom seed and a hybrid seed. A hybrid seed, the plant companies have taken characteristics, or have taken like 2 different plants and have cross-pollinated them in a way that creates a separate plant. Now, if you grow that plant and you save the seeds out of them and plant it, that plant that emerges out of that seed is not going to be the same plant that you had when you originally grew it, okay? It's going to either revert back to one or the other kinds of plants that was used to make that hybrid plant, okay? Now an heirloom plant, when you plant it, it's like a purebred, you know? When you plant that seed and grow it, and then save the seeds and plant it again the next year, you will get the same plant out of that seed as you grew the first time. Now there are a lot of variables in there depending on if it will cross-pollinate with other kinds of plants that are nearby and that kind of thing for it to remain true to the original seed that you planted, but that can be a conversation for another day. If anybody's interested, just let me know. So our dilemma in the past is that we had always planted hybrids. They did really well for us. But we really wanted to try the heirlooms. So like I said, last year we did half and half. We did one row of hybrids. We actually did 35 plants of hybrids and 35 plants of heirlooms. And I am sad to report that the hybrids did a lot better than the heirlooms. And we had to make a decision for our family because we grow as much of our own food as possible. It's important for us to have good yields and have quality fruit, and so this year we will be primarily growing hybrid tomatoes for both you know, diced tomatoes and slicing tomatoes and that kind of thing, and for paste tomatoes. But I want to go over with you the varieties that I've chosen. There are only a few. For like slicing tomatoes and diced tomatoes and those kinds of things for canning. This year we're going to do two hybrids. We're going to do the Jet Star hybrid, which was fantastic for us last year. Oh my gosh, knocked our socks off. It was so good. And then the other one is the Celebrity hybrid. We've been growing celebrities for about 7 years, and they're always fantastic for us and do a great job. So those are the two hybrids that we recommend if you want to go that direction this year. And then for the paste tomatoes, we're going to be using the San Marzano paste tomato, which is also a hybrid. But I am going to go out on a limb and try one heirloom variety of paste tomato. It's called the Opalka paste tomato. So I'll let you know how that goes. If you are interested in a nice heirloom all-purpose tomato plant, the best that we did out of all the varieties we chose and tried last year was the Arkansas Traveler. And Baker Creek sells these, and they do pretty well. And so if you want to go that direction, I recommend this one. Now, I want to give a shout out to Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. We love them. We buy their seeds as much as we possibly can. We live nearby. We aren't an affiliate for them. We don't sell their products or get any kind of commission, but we really believe in what they do and love them and love their seeds, love their plants. So that most of our plants and seeds we're getting from them this year. But I did try a different company this year for my hybrids. It is called Totally Tomatoes out of Wisconsin. Now, we're not an affiliate for them either. I do especially like them because they're from Wisconsin, and that's where Kevin and I are from originally. But this was recommended to me by a good friend that I have met here in in Missouri, too many states, in Missouri, and she has used this company before for hybrids. They're very reasonably priced, and apparently they do really well. So at the end of the year, I'll be able to tell you whether or not I recommend this company as well. So these are all of my seeds, and I would love to just go over every single one that I'm going to be growing this year, but I don't have enough time, and I'm sure you have other things to do. But I'm super excited about this growing season. I can't wait to start seeds. I can't wait to get my hands in the dirt. And if you are having spring fever, start planning. It's so exciting. You guys, we are so happy to have a group of followers that are just as motivated as we are to live a traditional life, even in a crazy modern world. You know, recently we have started a Facebook group for the Living Traditions Homestead followers. Now, you all picked a name for yourselves called the Traditionalists, and that Facebook group is called Traditionalists with Living Traditions Homestead, and I would love for you to take a look at that. You can find us on Facebook, and we'll put a link to that group down below. And if you are new to our channel, we are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we would love for you to hit the subscribe button below so that you can see what else we have going on in the future. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store and our Etsy shop. And until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.